Darryl, just Clifford coming back in the lineup, just what it brings to the team.
Pardon?
Kyle Clifford coming back.
There hasn't been any announcement that I'm aware of that he's coming back.
I saw you mention yesterday, Darryl, in LA about Jonathan coming into contact in Game 3. That was a concern of yours. Maybe just elaborate on.
I just think that he plays on top of the crease. You know, I'm not being whining or bitching or anything. It's just he plays on top of the crease. In the last 2 series, we played against goalies that play more in the blue paint. So, what is the rule? That's all. You know, it's like watching Chicago and Detroit last night. Do I think it's a goal, or do they think it's a goal, or do we? You know, it's all perspective and what you think personally. But I know the style of our goalie and what he needs to get across, and it's a little different. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
You know, the ice conditions are a touchy subject in this building, probably in yours too.
Yeah.
You know, my curiosity is, do you have to have different coaching principles because of that, or has that ever come up in terms of the way?
I think you talk about it on the bench as periods go on. Late in periods, late in games, a lot of snow along the boards, things like that. But it's quite honest, it's not. Both buildings are very similar. I think they're built. Their boards get a little bit more straighter. Boards get a little bit more straighter out instead of angle. But the ice is in both buildings is really similar.
The Sharks have outshot you guys in every game in this series. Do you feel you're getting enough pucks, testing Niemi enough, getting enough pucks in his direction?
Obviously, we'd like more, but it's just a stat that you use, right? It's not necessarily one we use as a team. We use it as individuals. Who is it? Who's getting more? Was it a position? Is it from an area? Those sorts of things. I mean, so that's how you break it out.
Anything else?
Kelly?
What would it take for you to put Matt Greene back in the lineup?
Well, we had him in warm up the other night, and that's the direction you go always. Is practice, contact, mornings, game day skates, in warm ups. That's always what you try and do, and then obviously with veteran guys, you're more inclined to. There's younger guys that you got to push in, right? Difference between injured and hurt is something that they have to. Sometimes you have to explain. But with the older guys and the veterans and guys that you trust, I mean, there's a point. There is where they make that decision because they know what it takes.
Darryl, I know you haven't made a decision on Kyle Clifford yet, but if he were to play, what would he bring? I mean, what?
It's a position where we've rotated several left wingers for 57 games, where we've had multiple left wingers in our lineup on every line. So if he were available, then it would be another multiple left wing that we've done all year.
Darryl, your goalie got a penalty at the end of the last game for talking up to the referees.
Yeah.
You like the overall emotional level your team is at right now is sort of like the right level of intensity, or you get worried it might be a little bit over the top?
No. I don't know, quite honestly, I don't know why that would put us behind or over the top at all. I don't think it was something that was, it wasn't even something that you had to address, to be quite honest. I mean, the frustration of the goaltender was the same as everybody else, and that's it. You move on in a hurry. It has no bearing on his performance going forward, for sure. It doesn't have any bearing on ours, and the emotional level is not an issue.